Welcome back to All This Math. This is Professor Parker. And make sure you are subscribed to the All This Math YouTube channel. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you drop a comment below if you feel like it. Make sure you share this video with somebody. All right. Now, also, another thing is this, right? This video is brought to you today by the people on this sweatshirt. Who are these people? Who we got? Mandela. So that's not just Nelson, but that's Nelson and Winnie Mandela, right? Kwame Nkrumah, Osajifo, Kwame Nkrumah, my guy Patrice Lumumba from the Congo, the rightful leader of the Congo, elected in 1960, who took over in 1961 and then was assassinated because he was too thorough. My man Thomas Sankara, Burkina Faso, the Burkinabe Revolution. Steve Biko, Bantu Stephen Biko, down in South Africa, or Zania, I should say. And last but not least, Fela Kuti, musician, revolutionary musician, from the continent. So these are definitely some people that I named that's on this sweatshirt that if you're not familiar, I highly recommend you get familiar. If you are familiar, get more familiar, you know? All right, so now I want to take the time to talk about an experience I had. Like earlier this month, I was out in Chicago because I went to the ASCAC conference, the Association for the Study of Classical African Civilizations. The Midwest region had their annual conference, right? So I had the fortunate opportunity to be one of the presenters at the conference. So shout out to those brothers and sisters out there in Chicago, maintaining ASCAC and carrying on that legacy. It was a hystematics presentation where I was discussing black mathematicians, right? But while I was in Chicago, somebody had recommended this steakhouse to me. So I went to the steakhouse, and I ordered, and I don't even eat beef like that for real, right? Anybody knows me know I don't really eat beef like that. But once in a while, I might partake. So, and I'm looking at the menu and I'm like, I don't even know what I really should get because I'm not like a whole steak connoisseur or nothing like that. But I said, let me get the Chateaubriand. And why did I get Chateaubriand? Because whenever I hear the word Chateaubriand, it just sounds fly. So I didn't really even really do my research and learn what it was. I just knew it was a type of steak. So I ordered it, and as the menu stated, it came in three medallions, right? So it was three relatively small, in my opinion, pieces of steak, and it was cool. It tasted good. It was seasoned well, and had some toppings on it and whatnot. But I was thinking to myself, because I'm always thinking about unit price. And that's something that I want to highly recommend to you as parents to always do that calculation, also to impress upon your children, always having them thinking about unit price, whether as a consumer or as a producer, somebody that's buying something or somebody that's selling something. Always think about unit price. And when we think about unit price, that can help have your children understand the meaning and the purpose of equations such as y equals mx plus b, where m is the unit price or the slope is the unit price, right? Um, which is an important concept. Whenever we're spending money, we want to know what the unit price is because that's how we can comparison shop and we can be able to tell whether we have a good deal or a bad deal. So I'm always thinking about unit price. So when I ordered the Chateaubriand, it was $59, right? Seemed a little pricey, but I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? It's a steakhouse. So it is what it is, right? So that's $59, right? And it's three pieces. So I'm trying to figure out what the unit price is. So of course you're gonna divide the 59 into three equal parts. So that's $59 divided by three. Now what I was doing now, this is the purpose of this video. I want us to understand that we don't always gotta overly rely on calculators, right? We don't gotta rely on Google or other computerized apps. They're viable tools and they're helpful tools at times, but we should always try to consider mental math, how we can use mental math in different situations, right? So what I was like is yo, how would I do? Let me try to do 59 divided by 3 in my head. How would I do that? Right? So I'm like 59 divided by 3. 59 is kind of a weird number because I could break the 59 down into 50 and 9 because 9 is divisible by 3. So that's $3. That's easy. But 50 ain't really divisible by 3. And then something occurred to me. I said, what if we flip 59 into 60 and negative 1? Because 60 minus 1 is 59, right? So that's enough. There are many ways that we could do this, right? Many ways we could do this. So what I decided to do is do 60 minus 1 divided by 3, right? Now, if I do 60 divided by 3, now we talk about mental math. Now, all I'm writing on the board was my mental math process, right? So 60 divided by 3, we know that that's going to be $20, right? And we know 1 divided by 3, 1 divided by 3 is just 1/3, right? So that's 1/3, right? So now, in order to, so that means that 59 divided by 3, because since 59 divided by 3 is equivalent to 60 minus 1 divided by 3, and this is equivalent to 60 divided by 3 minus 1 divided by 3, that's a form of the distributive property, basically, right? This is the same as doing 20 minus 1/3. And 20 minus 1/3, if we understand fractions and mixed numbers, we know that 20 take away 1/3 leaves us with 19 and 2/3, right? Since 3/3 is one whole, so if I got 1/3, I'm taking away 1/3, I'm left with 2/3. So I got 19 wholes and 2/3 of a whole, right? Now, if we flip that into money, we should understand decimal and fraction equivalence. We should understand, and your children should have memorized, that 2/3 is equivalent to 0.67. 2/3 is equivalent technically to 0.666666 repeating. But if we're talking about money, we want to round it off to 2 decimal places because that's where you get your tenths and your hundreds, right? So that's that. That's why money is going to be in 2 decimal places. So 2/3 is going to be rounded off to 0.67. 0.67. So now that means that this is $19.67, which means that each of those medallions from the Chateaubriand that I ordered at the steakhouse was $19.67, which is cool, which is just cool to know. You know what I'm saying? And it's even more cool to be empowered to be able to figure stuff like that out. So I want to further emphasize to you that as parents, as elders, grandparents, uncles, aunts, whoever, teachers, community members, if you care about young people, you care about the youth and want them to be able to develop their math skills, one of the things, there's several things they should always be thinking about. One of those things is unit price. Whenever they find themselves in a situation, whether as a consumer or as a producer or a seller, they should be thinking about unit price and calculating unit price, right? So in this particular situation, I was thinking about unit price. I ordered some steak, little Chateaubriand. It sounded fancy. I felt like I was doing it big out there, right? Because I'm ordering the Chateaubriand, right? And it was 3 medallions. So I'm like, yo, all right, how much is each one worth? So I do 59 divided by 3. But then the question is like, how do I do that? And like I said, it's a lot of ways I could have figured this out mentally. I just decided to go this route where, you take the 59 and increase it, but then subtract 1, right? It's almost like a make a round number method or rounding and compensating method, sort of like that. 60 minus 1 divided by 3, just divide each of these numbers by the 3, and then find the difference, and then convert it into a decimal or a dollar amount. So $19.67. That's all. Something light, just something that was on my mind. I said, you know what? I'm gonna put this on the channel because somebody else might benefit from this, right? But again, moral of the story, today's agenda, today's lesson, always have your children thinking about unit price. And we should always be thinking about unit price because that's how you comparison shop. All right. So definitely think about that. Also, make sure you're familiar with these people, these folks on this shirt, very important historical figures that you probably didn't learn about in school, and your children probably not learning about in school now. But that's cool because we can do our own research. And if the school not going to do it, we could do it ourselves. I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm out.